开在红魔店里面，不要在红魔店里面哦，请大家合作。
怎么有听到有麦克风的声音？今天请大家注意一下，希望大家每一位都有口罩的话，戴上口罩。然后呢，护摩主旗者，我们都知道，我们是一个主旗献一次哈达，请大家要合作，因为我们的时间也很宝贵，我们也希望师尊也不要那么的劳累，一位主旗者献一位哈达，就是一个主旗一个哈达这样子。好，谢谢大家，大家要合作。现在是非常时期我们都鼓励大家配合，希望大家能够戴上口罩，希望大家呢还没有戴口罩的师兄师姐们呢，我们会为了保护大家，大家的健康，希望大家呢能够戴上口罩，每人都要戴上口罩。如果你们真的身上没有口罩的话呢，我们示意台这边还可以给你们一个。如果还没有真的没有口罩的话，请到这边来领取。连烟上师在那边给你们。希望大家合作，因为现在都是非常时期，为了大家的健康，我们也为了保护大家，希望大家呢配合戴上口罩，这样才是我们最好的互相帮助，互相照顾自己。还有呢，我在此宣布一下因为这个每次献主旗呢，我们就是针对一位主旗， 一个献哈达的主祈者。当然了，如果是 baby 小的话呢，你1岁也好，还可以抱着，那是没办法，没有办法离开父母。但是呢，我们是针对一个主祈，一个献哈达，我们避免师尊的辛劳，也希望大家的合作。我还是有看到有些师兄师姐还没有戴口罩的，戴好早啊！我讲国语还是广东话，英文就不知道怎么说了。Face mask，face，face 是脸嘛哈？face mask，看吧，我又进步了，我又学习了一个英文词。所以呢，希望大家合作。我们为了保护大家，也保护自己。现在非常时期，我们知道我们真佛弟子都是很健康的哈，我们有师尊、佛菩萨的护佑着。但是呢，现在是非常时期，希望大家能够合作，每个人都戴上口罩。如果真的没有的话，给他一个。轩辕法师有吗？手上有口罩是吗？刚才你喊得很大声。不是，是谁？给他一个。要进献哈达的主祈者也要准备排队了哈，还是要提醒大家，主祈者针对一个，你当一个主祈者一个献哈达，我们希望大家合作。真和中美国西雅图彩虹梅藏寺南无莲花童子护摩法会开始，与会大众请起立，恭迎真和中创办人无上法王圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师仁波切及上师团，与会大众虔诚合掌唱诵莲花童子心咒。 根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，200诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，300诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，4平等以及手。请主持人敬献哈达，以表最高敬意。 感谢师尊的赐福。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
Here at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington, our lineage Guru, the founder of True Buddha School, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, is presiding over Padmakumara Homa fire offering ceremony. His Holiness just accepted the offering of Hatha from the primary supplicants of this Homa. And now His Holiness is ascending to the Homa throne. We are inviting Rinpoche and all the Dharma masters and venerables and everybody to please be seated. Inviting His Holiness to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. First and foremost, let us offer our utmost gratitude to our lineage Guru for presiding over this Padmakumara Homa fire offering ceremony. We would also like to welcome all participating masters, venerables, and all participants from all over the world. The offering of Hatha. Let's join our palms with reverence, and we would like to invite Vajra Master Lian-Yi to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage Guru as a symbol of the highest honor. Padmakumara Homa fire offering ceremony has now begun. Visualize True Buddha lineage, Namo Vairukana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padmakumara, Namo Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Visualize Grandmasters and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the root Guru mantra 7 times. Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables. Visualize ancestors and relatives from the father side on your right, from the mother side on your left, and all sentient beings around you. Invocation mudra. Recite purification mantras and the earth deity mantra. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Padmakumara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Padmakumara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Padmakumara. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jade Pond. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Namo 8 primary deities of Two Buddha School. Namo Akalanata, Yamantaka, 4 heavenly kings. Namo Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities, all the enshrined deities enshrined at the Two Buddha Tantric Quarters, Seattle Lechang Temple, and at the abode at the Southern Mountain. Rainbow temples, mountain god, earth god, plant god, wind god, water god, heavenly fire god, dragon gods, and all divinities as well as the city god, to please radiate light and bless his Homa. Great homage using visualization. First to Root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth head bow. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole space. Make the offering above to the lineage guru, all the lineage gurus, the main deity of Homa, Padmakumara, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Fourfold refuge. Visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the refuge mantra. Armor protection, form Vajraklaps mudra. Recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Inviting the Dharma King, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, to perform blessings with mala. Inviting His Holiness to set ceremonial demarcation, to bless the registration forms, Homa cards, and all the offerings. Please stand up and join your palms with reverence. And we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, blessings, enrichments, subjugation, and bardo deliverance. We'll be reciting the heart mantra of the main deity of Homa today, Padmakumara. inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to ascend to the Dharma throne. Inviting Rinpoche, all the Dharma Masters, Venerables, all participants, and our distinguished guests to please be seated. Recite the heart mantras of the 8 principal deities and incarnate Buddha Amitabha. Recite the supplication for the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions of the Buddha lands as numerous as grains of sand, all Bodhisattvas who are full of compassion toward all beings, Herikas, Dhammapas, Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage deluded ones. 3 jewels, eminent wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead they stay in this hour to turn the Dharma wheel to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, repaying for generosity from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death, just like the Buddha, may we liberate all. We dedicate to Buddha school disciples, dedicate the merit of this Homa to our lineage Guru. May you stay healthy, live a long life, continually stay in samsara with great bliss to turn the Dharma wheel. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Homage to Vairocana Buddha, Buddha Lokana, Amitabha Buddha, Padmakumara. Homage to the main deity of Homa, 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 Namo Padmakumara. We pray that Ma Padmakumara descend upon the world, the 6 rebirth cycles and the 4 holy realms, to please radiate light and bless sentient beings, so that we cultivate spiritually together and transform to become golden sages. We pray to Padmakumara to guide the Bardu spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha land. May Padmakumara eradicate karma, karmic sicknesses. May we have good health. And the karma due to afflictions also eliminated, so that we attain the unattainable. All attachments and fixations eliminated. All the ignorance and unknowing be eliminated. May our bodies transform to become rainbow light. We pray to Padmakumara to bestow upon all participants ample resources, complete wisdom, complete skillful means, good health, all wishes fulfilled, calamities transformed into auspiciousness, and strong commitment in our spiritual cultivation. Auspiciousness during the day, auspiciousness at night, auspiciousness around the clock, and those amidst auspiciousness. Pray for the blessings by the root guru, absorption by the yidam, and protection by the protectors. May all of our prayers be granted. To Padmakumara, gods in heavens, gods on earth, may we be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us, let all disasters turn into dust. May all enemies and enmities disappear, may all obstructions and hindrances disappear. Recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times. Great Homa choosing visualization, first to root guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth head bow. Recite completion mantra. Let's give a round of applause to show our utmost gratitude to His Holiness for presiding over this Homa fire offering ceremony. Now let us all join our palms with the greatest reverence, and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dhamma teaching. Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liang-ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhung. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Thubten Dorje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Padmakumara. Sumo, Tanchen Katso, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Our participating VIPs today are Taipei Rep to Sweden and Norway, Ambassador Dongzhou Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy, Accountant to Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, PR Director of True Buddha School Taiwan Temple, Dharma Brother Fermi Wang, good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? First, let's announce for next Sunday, which is March 8th. There will be, it is the Parinirvana anniversary of Sakyamuni Buddha, March 3rd, March 8th. And Sunday, 3 p.m., we will perform Sakyamuni Buddha's Homa fire offering ceremony. And Sakyamuni Buddha is the founder of Buddhism, so there's no need to introduce him. The leader and founder of Buddhism and of samsara. And all the Buddha Dharma came from him. In this world. So whether you want to become primary supplicants or not, it's up to you. So this is related to the leader of Buddhism, founder of Buddhism. And he has two mudras, Sakyamuni Buddha's mudras. The inner three mountain mudra, or the outer three mountain mudra. This is the mudra. And the outer three mountain mudras. So the index fingers and the pinkies and the thumbs are straight upright, and the other two fingers are clasping, either inwardly or outwardly. I'm sorry, the middle fingers, pinkies, middle fingers, and thumbs. This image is endowed with 32 marks. The mantra. Om Mani Moni Maha Moni Sakya Moni Soha. That's his heart mantra. And today we perform Padmakumara, and we all know about him. There's no need to explain too much. And his origins was also extremely sublime and supreme. And one of them, as in Tantric Buddhism, we have the Great Perfection Dharma, which belongs to Nyingmapa, the highest Dharma. And then Mahamudra, that belongs to Kagyupa, the highest Dharma there. And for Sakyapa, it was Lamdre. So what I am expounding now, Lamdre, is considered the highest Dharma practice in Sakyapa. And in Galupa, Yamantaka is the highest Dharma there. And so Mahamudra of Kagyupa and Great Perfection or Dokchen of Nyingmapa are very similar to each other. So for this Great Perfection Dharma and Mahamudra Dharma were transmitted by the Adharma Buddha. And the lineage of Mahamudra was from Adharma Buddha to the Pao Yi youth, or precious mind youth. So, and the second lineage was the Pao Yi youth. And Pao Yi youth was also Padmakumara. So the earliest Padmakumara was Pao Yi youth and Pao Sang youth. And so Mahamudra, that belongs to Kagyupa, their patriarch guru or lineage guru was also Padmakumara. So therefore, in the Tonghuang grottos, there is Padmakumara in almost all of the caves. Prior to Grandmaster mentioning about Padmakumara, nobody ever mentioned him. And after Grandmaster was talking about Padmakumara, there followed many people talking about Padmakumara. This is very interesting. So today, let's continue to talk about Lamdre. So it's mentioned here about the four basic marks or symbol. The quote, the 5 fingers gather and press together. The thumb and finger fingers perform the ritual, form the victorious body mudra, and the 4 fingers symbolizes the sky. And for the vase empowerment, The 5 fingers of the left hand press against each other, gather, and the 4-finger of the right hand is placed on top of it. The gathered fingers symbolize the universal empowerment of the 5 Buddhas, and the gathering finger symbolizes the Guru's empowerment, for a total of 6 symbols. For secret empowerment, after knowing the cause, during the secret empowerment, place your left thumb and ring finger together like the Indian sign of Dharma origin, and use them to get the empowerment item and then place it on top of the tongue. What is this mark for? It is the Adabo Vida from the 4 Vedas, which is placing the bodhicitta on top of the tongue. Third, the wisdom empowerment. The mark for the third empowerment is the right forefinger as the method or skillful means, interlaced with the left forefinger as the wisdom, to symbolize the dual execution of methods and wisdom, and as the mark of non-leaking bodhicitta. It is called the most victorious body of emptiness and bliss, is the undifferentiated mudra. For the 4th empowerment, the mark of the 4th empowerment is the right forefinger, points and circles around the sky to symbolize the great bliss. Dharmakaya is like the sky. These are the 4 root or basic marks. So, the 4 mudras for the 4 empowerments, these are what it's about. Each of the schools are different. In Sakyapa, the first mudra for the vase empowerment is like this. Gather all the 5 fingers for your left hand, and the right hand. Which finger? The forefinger. Yes. So the forefinger of the right hand is placed on top of the vase. This is the symbol for the vase empowerment, which is the first empowerment. And the second empowerment is the secret empowerment. This is the mudra. And the third empowerment, like this, for the wisdom empowerment. It's like this. The 4th empowerment the right forefinger circles toward the sky to symbolize the great bliss. Dharmakaya is like the sky. My guru taught me this. The left forefinger, the right forefinger. This represents the sky. It's like this, which is the mudra of Vairocana. So these 4 symbols or marks representing the 4 empowerments. And the second is the 4 divisional marks. So divided from this, the quote, the 5 fingers separate, change into the clasped Vajra fist, raise them to become the Vajra triangular point, and the forefinger symbolizes the sky. And for the waist empowerment, it represents the empowerments common to the 5 Buddhas. For secret empowerment, it symbolizes that bodhicitta on the tongue are undivided. For the wisdom empowerment, it represents that merging bliss and non-thought, the 3 of them. And for the 4th empowerment is the root mark of the 4th empowerment. This is the same as before. It's about the same. So these are all talking about mudras. And the 4 speech marks during the waist empowerments is using kala sha that dwells at the apex. And for the secret empowerment is Yalolawa at the throat chakra. For wisdom empowerment, Aiwang Maya at the secret chakra. I to represent wisdom, the character I. The character Wang to represent skillful means, and the character Ma to symbolize Mahulaka, the great greed, and the character Yawa to symbolize the slow breathing that can appear. And for the 4th empowerment, you use Om Ahom. That are all the body, speech, and mind. That's the mark of the 4th empowerment. And in each of the empowerment, there are some characters to represent it. And by receiving the empowerment 16 times, it can protect against hindrances. So skillful means, and wisdom 8 times 8 is 16. 8 times 8 is 64. Or 8 plus 8, the same as 16 protections. All these wordings are very difficult to explain. In the past, the Guru taught how to form the mudras. For waist empowerment, it was like this, slightly different from the Lamdre in Sakyapa. For the waist empowerment, it was like this, sometimes like this. A little bit like the invisible mudra of Marici Bodhisattva. As I remember, this is for the waist empowerment, the mudra like this. And for the 2nd empowerment, the Guru taught me like this. Flowers, the shape of a half-open lotus blossom. This is the symbol of the 2nd empowerment. And the 3rd empowerment they use the sign of Vairocana Buddha. And for the fourth empowerment, forming like a ball, which represent the great perfection. This is what the Guru taught me. This is first empowerment. This is the second empowerment. The third empowerment is like this. The fourth empowerment is like this. 4 mudras, slightly different from what they are talking about in Lamdre. And there are many more mudras that Grandmaster doesn't dare to form, like the subjugation mudra or the exorcism mudra. But nowadays, I don't dare to form it because nowadays people use this sign to insult people. Actually, that was a mudra. I don't know what's happening with this society that now it's spread all over the world. We use that finger to insult people. I only form the one that's facing down. So it's very strange. We form it like this. I form the one facing or pointing down. So the forefinger and the ring fingers are hooking each other, and then the thumb is pressing on the pinky. This is called the Vajra finger. When you make offerings to the gods and goats, you have to chant the golden winged birds, all the yaksas and wandering ghosts, let them be sprinkled with nectar. And then you use this mudra to draw a character home on a cup of water, and then you sprinkle the water in order to make it effective. This is called the Vajra finger. And then if you point it upward, then there would be a subjugation mudra. So this is a mudra that's a little bit difficult to form. But this way is very easy to form. This is the easier, the simple version. For the subduing Mara mudra. So if there's Mara coming and you form this mudra and point to the Mara and recite the subduing Mara mantra, then the Mara will run away. So this is a very useful mudra, but nowadays the whole society use it to insult people. And there's another mudra that was taught by my guru. It was like this. And this is also subduing Mara mudra. This is also a subduing Mara mudra. And if you point to the front, this is a triangular Mara subduing mudra. And if there's Mara coming, then you transport your chi to the fingers. And the Mara would disappear by itself. If Mara is standing right in front of you and you form this mudra, Mara will disappear. If you have power and you use this mudra and point to a flying bird in the sky, the bird would fall to the ground. So you form this mudra and chant mantra, the bird will fall down. And you form this mudra and you point to fish swimming in water, the fish will stop. It's like being nailed down, will not be able to continue to move. So the forefathers have done this kind of things. When a bird is flying in the sky and he uses a finger and point at it and it falls. So mudras also have power. So when you form this mudra and if you're disturbed by maras, now you know the mudras. This is called the triangular mudra, pointing directly to Mara. Then the Mara will disappear. So this is what I especially teach you today, a very special teaching. Else, you form the Vajra finger mudra, Vajra mudra, and pointing at him, and then you recite Hom, 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 Pe, or Hom, Hom, Pe, and he would disappear. Now you know. You form this mudra and you recite Hom, Hom, Pe. Or you form this mudra to subdue Mara and you also recite Hom, Hom, Pe. And the Mara will disappear. So it talks about falling onto the both methods and wisdom wise side, divided into 3 stages: the early, the middle, and the ending part. So how do you? So to protect against, to eliminate filths. These are all titles that would be explained later. So guard against the leaking of the light drops, and to guard against the 6 leakings and the 2 hindrances. I apologize, I missed this whole part. It's talking about the guarding against non-leaking. and Grandmaster is the non-leaking sage. So in the middle stage, it does talk about guarding against the 6 leaking. Talking about the initial stage, after receiving instructions from the Guru,
其前世先造引之因，此是欲生引之六言时，乃报应身心苦痛及丧命之果，能亲会相续中，禅定及结受，如云遮日，故称引。复次，有些补特迦罗，若遇6言然不生引难，为系未造因之功故。譬如虽浇水施回，5种亦不生芽；若先造因，而无6言亦不生引。难过患，如无土地顺源具足之种子，此是大医师所言。是故因缘和所生之引有6事。这个引啊，这里面所提到的引，它这个就是很奇怪的。这个明明很好解释的东西，他故意弄一个新的名字。
Oh, it's talking about something very strange here. It's talking about shadow. What is that? It's actually obstructions. They're talking about this familiar things using strange terms. All of a sudden they use this character shadow, trying to use a new term, but there's no need to explain it. So all the obstructions or hindrances throughout your spiritual cultivation, they could just use the word hindrances, but instead they use shadow so that you don't know what he's talking about. So all kinds of obstructions and sufferings or things that take your life, they're all considered as hindrances. It's talking about when the affinity has come together. My Guru also said that whatever causes that you create, then it would result in whatever effect. So that's cause and effect. However, if you create a cause, but there's no affinity, then it will not bear fruition. So my Guru taught me that your seed, and the seed needs some soil and water and fertilizer, and with the sunshine, with all these affinities, then the seed will sprout and grow to become a tree. Then it would become a fruit. So if you create a cause, but you don't have the affinities or the causes and conditions, then it is as if the seed is on a cement ground, on a cement floor. There's no nutrition, nothing. So it's impossible for the seed to bear fruits. So we want to avoid the causes. That's why Grandmaster had said before, whatever things you do, you visualize. At the ground there is a lotus blossom, and you're standing inside the lotus blossom, and the lotus encloses to envelope you. So what does this mean? You're performing this mudra, or you're doing this cause that would bear fruition eventually. But when you enclose yourself in a lotus blossom, then you will never get the fruit. Then you're separated from all affinities outside, all conditions outside. So in that situation, there will be no fruit. So only the cause but no effect. Then that would be called unrecorded. So it's not recorded. So that's the reason. So it's kind of concealed. That would be the best explanation. So in summary, the cause is the preliminary, and the affinity is if you meet with the right conditions, then you would bear fruit. Some sentient being or bodhicharo, in their past life, you have created some obstructions. So in this life, when you meet with the 6 conditions, because in the past life you have created the cause, and in this life you encounter the affinities or conditions, then it can result in the suffering of your body and mind, or even the fruition of losing your life. Because in your past life you have killed lots of beings. So in this life, if you meet your enemies, then you are killed by your enemies, because you have created the cause of killing in your past life, and in this life you encounter the victim of your deed. Then you suffer the murder by that enemies. However, if you don't encounter him or her, then you don't have the affinity that would result in that fruition. So the cause that you created in the past life can also affect your meditation and spiritual experiences. like the clouds that's blocking the sun. So that's hindrances, obstruction. That's what it meant. So in our meditation, when you meditate, you also encounter obstructions. Why? Because when you meditate, you will always encounter a woman standing in front of you, and the woman is extremely beautiful, so that your heart keeps fluttering, keeps moving around. And strangely, every time I meditate, this woman always standing right in front of you, and you cannot get rid of her. And she always gets your attention. You cannot enter into samadhi, so that's a hindrance, right? And some people, when they meditate, he would see someone chasing after him with the knife, wanting to chop your head off, and you're so scared. So this kind of hindrance. And someone else in meditation and see lots of arrows shot toward him, so that he suffers in body and mind, and it's impossible for him to enter into meditation. So this is affinity from the past life, hindrances that obstruct you. So you feel suffering in your meditation, things that cause suffering in your meditation. So that's due to the affinity. There's 6 of them. So if you breach the samaya vow, then there would be the shadow of the samaya and the shadow of ghosts and gods. So you're being disturbed by gods and ghosts. The shadow of bad friends. So you encounter bad friends that influence you. The shadow of diet, food and drink. Of course, food and drink are different, as interesting. The red ones would make you get fire or heat, inner heat. And the green colored food, it's cooling. Yellow colored food and drink is nutritious. The black food, black colored food, will strengthen the kidneys. That's what you said. So even foods can affect you. It's true. Some people cannot eat this, cannot eat that. And some people, if they force themselves to eat it, it can die from it. It's called allergy. Like for Qing, whenever she eats pipa, 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 pipa. Pipa, which is loquat. Whenever Fo Qing eats loquat, that her her esophagus would shrink and then she cannot breathe. That's a sign of allergy. That's allergy. Lots of kids are allergic to peanuts that they have to be sent to the hospital. And we didn't know. And we give her pipa and she could not breathe, almost could not hardly breathe. Just pipa like that. But your dad had no problem eating pipa, eating loquat. She's not scared of eating anything. I eat everything. Only diamonds I don't eat, and gold. And also the dusters. Diamonds too expensive. But gold, I do drink gold. You know, they put gold flakes inside the alcohol or Japanese food. They use some gold dust on top of food, so we eat them. But of course, we cannot eat a kilogram of gold. So I have no taboo. I eat everything. But nowadays, like Jaden and Jin, it's like Jaden's allergic to peanuts. So that's the shadows of food and drink. So if you eat something that's disagreeable with you, you cannot meditate, then you have to go to the toilet all the time. So the shadow of locations, that's because of geomancy, or like there's negative energy where you live, or due to ghosts inside the house. Of course, that would affect your meditation. And the shadow of corpse, what's that? It talks about weather or holidays, the effect of this. So dates also create effects on seasons. So that's why I asked His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, what do you practice? And he said, in the morning I practice Tara, Dharma, and at night I practice protectors. So protectors should be practiced at night. You cannot do it upside down. If you do Tara practice at night and the protector practice in the morning, then that's not right. So at the daytime you practice your yidam, at night you practice your protector. So that's due to time. Obstructions due to time. Hindrances due to time. So in the dating information center, I was asked, what kind of lady do you like? I don't know. Well, what is the common trait of all the ladies that you have liked? She wanted to get a date. So I kept thinking, and then I discovered I have liked many girls, but the only common trait is that they all don't like me. So now they have this dating group or associations. composition. This is only meaningless in Chinese. 520.
我说错，因为小三是永远除不尽的。520除以3等于173.33333，无数的3。你看，前面一个7，后面全是小三。小三是除不尽的，这个意思也是很好的。
The number 520 divided by 3, but 520 means I love you, and 3 is like a mistress, so it's only meaningful in Chinese. You know, something natural, not quite strange, which is like this. Although you can never eliminate the 3 or the third parties, that each third party is independent. So in I love you divided by 3, 3 is like the third party or the mistress. So 520 represents love, and then divided by 3, it's equal 173.3333333. But I discovered that each of the 3 or the third party is independent. And the former third always wants to purge the next third. I don't know. You can, in love, you cannot accept even a grain of sand in your eyes. Tibet is so good because it's okay to have one husband and several wives, or one wife and several husbands. That's how Tibet was. And a poor family, they just marry one wife and being used by 6 brothers together. So one wife and many husbands, because they are poor, so they can only get one wife. That's how it was in Tibet. Or the royalties, they have lots of wives. Who was such a jerk to set a law about one wife and one husband, and then if you get more than one, then you violate the law? Who was that jerk? It's fine in the earlier times, but now in the Republic time it's not allowed. Then I don't want any Republic. Honey, this is my FB and Line password. Oh, you have such cold hand, let me warm it. Oh, you look skinny, let me take you out to eat. Oh, I have bought some airplane tickets, let's go on a trip. And here's my credit card, you can use all you want. And this kind of man only exists in museums. So the husband that you encounter today is your shadow or obstructions from your past life. So the wife that you encounter in this life is very possibly the shadow from your past life. That's the affinity that would obstruct your spiritual cultivation. A man said, before meeting you, my world was black and white. After meeting you, my world has become all black. So that's a hindrance. Those are hindrances. A lifeguard saved a woman, and then they were dating. And someone asked the lifeguard, so your marriage must be very romantic because you saved her life. And he replied, after I saved her, she floated. And then we got married, and now I'm sinking. A wife asked her husband, how come you leave work so late these days? And the husband said, oh, because I'm thinking of promotion. Because in Chinese, promotion or getting a raise sounds like a girl's name. So the wife just kicked him. Women are really hard to please. And Sue was not here. This one is talking about wine. Human life is like a glass of wine with all different tastes. So when you're happy, drinking wine is it's pleasing. And when you're sad, it is grieving. So human life is like wine. It's sweet and sour and or tart. And it's also like drinking wine, sometimes awake, sometimes drunken. So just walk your own life, whether it's bitter or not, you know it. Whether it's suffering or not, you know it yourself. Whether you're awake or drunken, you know it yourself. So as long as they don't create hindrances, that's fine. Something that you've heard before. Xiao Ming made a mistake, and his mom asked him to kneel in front of the Guan Yin and repent. And then if Guan Yin forgive you, then you're relieved. And then when mom turned her head, he's already sitting there eating. Because of course I told Guan Yin sister, I was wrong. I want to eat now. And then Guan Yin's right hand is forming this okay. English is not hard. This is how I learned my English. What is dad? Father. It's all pronounced using Chinese characters. Mother is mother, brother. This is also only meaningful in Chinese. Mouse.
果汁叫什么 ？Juice。对吗？
Right?
有点接近啊。
It's close, right?
这个乳酪叫做 cheese， 自己叫笑死。
Cheese. Dance.
哦，请叫他这是叫 police， 请叫警察叫 police，
Police.
小姐叫 miss， 知识叫 horse， 眼睛叫 eyes。我的英文很 very good，very good。
My English is very good.
我学英文是这样子写。
That's how I learned my English, using Chinese characters as the phonetics. Oh, mani padme hum. We are truly grateful to Solinda's precious Dharma teachings. In a moment, there will be the empowerment for Padmakumara, and during the empowerment, please remember to visualize the deity, to form the mudra, and to recite the mantra. This ends the English interpretation today. Please remember to return your receivers before you leave. Thank you.
我们恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛赐受莲花童子法万里含皈依万里。 愿莲生活佛赐受莲花童子法灌顶。